If you've never attended a Catholic wedding ceremony or you're having one for your own wedding, there are a few things that you'll want to be familiar with prior to attending. One thing you can count on with a Catholic ceremony is that it is generally steeped in religious tradition and must adhere to Catholic law. There are numerous elements to the wedding that go beyond the "Here Comes the Bride" march, exchange of vows and kiss followed by the party. Instead, there is generally a sermon, prayers, rites, biblical readings, and hymns. The event is considered public as it is traditionally held in a Catholic church. This means there are almost never any outdoor Catholic weddings or weddings anywhere outside the parish church, although permission can be granted for it to be held in a different Catholic church or chapel. Catholic wedding ceremonies are also never held between Holy Thursday and Easter Sunday. There are three types of ceremonies permitted by Catholic law: the rite for celebrating marriage during Mass, the rite for celebrating marriage outside of Mass, and the rite for celebrating between a Catholic and unbaptized person, which is also outside of Mass. During the Catholic ceremony, the bride and groom must promise to continue observing the Catholic faith and promise that their future children will do the same. If one member of the couple is not Catholic, this isn't generally a deal breaker, although a dispensation from your bishop is required in order to proceed with the Catholic marriage. The ceremony begins with the entrance rite, during which the altar servers and the lectors, priest, witnesses, bride, and bridegroom, who may or may not be accompanied by their parents, proceed toward the altar. After the priest greets the bride, groom, and assembly, prayers follow, as do readings from the Bible, which often include a gospel reading and another passage from the Old or New Testament, with hymns interspersed. The next element is the homily or sermon, which typically focuses on faith, commitment, and relationships with each other, God, and the church, and is often personalized to suit the bride and groom. The statement of intentions generally comes next, followed by the exchange of vows and exchange of rings, with blessings by the priest. The assembly then participates in the prayer of the faithful, and then the couple is introduced as man and wife with a procession that exits the church, starting with the bride, groom, and wedding party. If the ceremony takes place during Mass, you can also expect a liturgy of the Eucharist, as well as the communion rite, which can only be taken by members of the Catholic Church. This is often why a Catholic marrying a non-Catholic ceremony is held outside of Mass. The assembly will typically read or sing the Lord's Prayer, followed by a nuptial blessing and breaking of the bread, and distribution of bread and wine to the assembly, beginning with the bride and groom. Ceremonies held outside of Mass can be a little more flexible. Some couples choose to include the lighting of a candle as a symbol of their union. Just know that some parishes forbid it altogether. Likewise, though it is not outlined in Catholic law, some couples choose to include a prayer before the Virgin Mary, recognizing her not only as the Mother of God, but of the Church and their family as well. If you have questions, be sure to ask your parish coordinator, who will help you plan for your ceremony. I'm Jonathan Stewart with About.com.